Hey, good morning, fam. We just woke up. It is 2:25 in the morning. Our trade finally hit at 1 o'clock in the morning, and we're turning the other way. We're at 3:35, so we're gonna lock in 250. Give us about $70 of breathing room. Goal is to get to 1,000 right here. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, we did this exact same play. Beautiful that we didn't wick this out at all. You can see that my entry probably put me to about negative $50 or whatever the case was. I want the $300 locked in. We've been to about 350, but what I want to do is try to get all the way to that $1,000 mark. As we trend back up, I will put my stop loss right here. I mean, not my stop loss, my take profit. Put it at 1,500, and we'll just ride this out for the next several minutes. Like I said, I got 250 locked in no matter what. We can break 350 to $400. That would be nice. But this could take the entire hour. So you just got to chill and wait on it. Middle of the night's a little bit slower. Want to see us make our way up through this entire candle to the 90 MA here. We're looking at 1 hour candles because it's you want to look at higher time frames so you don't get tricked out of your play on the 1 minute and stuff like that. But this is an overnight trade that I set up off of this candle right here and these candles right here from 130 and stuff. The candle wicks here are manipulations. So when manipulations happen, you don't necessarily have to account for them. I'll show you my risk level was. My risk level was $150. My original price target was $1,000. We're at $1,451 over here on the account. After the payout, we're up $330 right now. And thing to note and remember is that when you take a payout, your balance that's left over will become your balance. So be careful with taking those smaller account payouts and stuff like that. I'd be patient and wait for like I did when I got to like $3,000. You can take half. I can have a $1,500 trailing threshold and deal with that basically. So we're at 350 now. 2:30 in the morning is coming. So I want to see $400 so I can go lock in 3. Hopefully we'll get to $400 before we hit this candle here. I'm gonna move our stop loss up to 300. Move our stop loss up to 300, and we're gonna sit there right at 305 to make sure that we get 300. We're gonna sit here. I'm not gonna release it yet. We need to reach $400 before I release this. And I tend to move up every $100 that we make. I tend to move up to that next 100 before it. Now, if we're moving very fast, you'll see me stick closer to it. But since we're moving slow like this, I don't want to be too close. Locking in 285. Okay, now that we have confidence at 360, we'll leave on the $300. We want to make sure that we get 300 now. We're at 385. Like I said, when we get to 4, I'll lock $305 to make sure that I get a $300 trade. But it's a slow build up to that $400 mark, so you just keep your patience. Like I said, we've hit the bottom of this candle now. I want to see us retake this entire candle. We retake the entire candle, that's 455. So now that we're at 355 and kind of retreating, we're going to go lock 305 to make sure that I get $300 out of this. 305, take it to the house. This is the way we take it to the house. I'm sorry, I get very distracted by the music that's inside of my head at all times. So 385, heading towards 4. And now that I have $300 and we can give it a little bit of room to breathe, I will. We got about 5 more seconds before 2:32. 1. 230. Let's see if we get a 230 here. We get any pop? No, we're kind of getting a pullback. Okay, cool. We get a little bit of a pop off. We want to see us hit $400. Want to see us hit $400. And we're about to. So I'm going to go to the bottom of this candle right here, 375. You see we're slowly pulling back, but that's okay. We have our $300 locked in. Lock 320. Looking for that $400 point. And if this gets us out, that's okay. We've had a phenomenal trade that I didn't even have to be awake for. I just woke up randomly to go to the
Order
restroom.
filled.
You know how that is in the middle of the night. And boom, we made $317 off of just setting a trade up based off of the 4-hour time frame levels that were already set. Came here and said, okay, we've hit this. Basically, you're looking for touch points. Got a touch point here, got a touch point here, got 2 touch points in the bodies of the candles. The bodies of the candles are the true levels. The candle wicks are the manipulations. So I'm going to set up at the body of the candle. And the beautiful thing is that it agreed with the 1 hour 200 EMA as well. Now, of course, I knew that this blue line was a drawdown area. So you need about $7 worth of space to hit that drawdown area. And you're good. But we're sitting right here at the bottom of this candle wick at 34. It drew down to 30. So we had about $4 come off. About $100, about $75 negative basically, and we would have been able to get to below this candle here before we would have lost our trade. But yeah, thank you guys so much for checking out the video. You know how we get done. You guys know the motto: take the easy money, stuff like that. And all you're doing is just building your way towards 30 days at $200 with Top Step. They've already contacted me like, all right, so what's gonna happen is if you trade really well and you get to like 3-4 days of like $1,000 and stuff like that, they're gonna be like, okay, we'd like to draw you up to the live accounts, because when you're trading these express accounts, they're not making any money off of it, but they're paying you money because it's their policy to pay you money. I don't know if this is too loud. Let me turn this off for a second. This is air conditioner in the room. They're paying you money, right? And they're not getting anything for your paper trades. Yeah, they may simulate the paper trades or whatever and take a few of them and stuff like that, of the really, really good ones. But if you're a good trader, they want you live trading so that they can copy your trades and make double the money, basically. So they'll make their 10% and they'll make money off of the trades you place if you're a good, consistent trader. So they will track your progress. And if you're doing well, you don't have to wait the entire 30 days to get drawn up to the big leagues. They will ask you to go live or whatever, and you'll still have to make it to the 30 days to get to everyday payouts or whatever, but they trust you with the account. And if you can get that type of trust from one of these prop firms, you know that you're heading in the right direction. Like I wanted to, of course, talking about the trade now, I wanted to see us do this entire trade here so I can get the entire $1,500, but I at the very least lock in my $200 day and just keep it pushing, heading into next week. So I'll lock in this 317. When the morning comes up, I'll risk about $50 and I'll trade micros. As you see, I'm on the micro screen now over here on the right hand side. I'll risk about $50 and trade micros, because no matter what, I'll have my $200 day. And that's what it's all about. It's about the $200 day, and you have the opportunity to make more on the trades or whatever later on, but it's about the $200 day to start off. But yesterday we drew down to the 1 hour 200 EMA, and we broke through it a couple of times. So the next time you're going to form a higher low if we're trending back up, which is what we're currently doing. So you don't have to worry too much about it breaking down. Like at 6 o'clock, you can see that we were pushing up, created a new high, hit the resistance area right here on the left hand side from these 2 candles, and then it started to push us down. But listen, I'm not going to take up any more of you guys' time, man. There's a lot to learn about day trading. One of the most important lessons that you gotta hold on to is persistence. Anybody who plays video games a lot and stuff like that, who gets into day trading, you're gonna do well because you have pattern recognition and you have persistence. Like, the other night I'm playing this Jedi Survivor game. I probably died like 200 times on this really hard part of it, but never quit. And that won't quit is going to serve you so well in the day trading market. But that's not to say don't be a fool, because you need to know if this is for you or not. Just because you decide that you don't want to quit it doesn't mean that it's for you. Day trading is not for everyone. It takes a lot of patience, and I didn't have a lot of patience coming in. It's something that I had to grow. But over time I grew. And so how I did that was I practiced a lot, right? And through that practice, I started to create a process, and the process wasn't easy at all. It was fairly difficult for me to figure out what was going to work for me. Like, I was trying to learn everything. I was trying to learn all the terminology, and I was picking that up, but trading using Fibonacci's and all the different terminologies just wasn't working for me. I wanted to know what the money was doing, where it was going, why it was going there. And when I focused more on figuring that out, that's when my day trading really took off. And then I focused on basic market structure, supply and demand, what makes supply and demand, and then more importantly, what has to happen for the money to move. And once I started figuring out that stuff, it got much easier. But for sure, when you start out, you need to learn all of the different terminology. You need to learn all of the different aspects of trading before you create your own process. And there's a reason why I don't call it a system, because it's not a system. It's just a process that I go through when I'm doing my trades, how I make my decisions. Everything is a process. And then risk management. So if it was a system, it's something a little bit more specific that I try to use every time, and that's not what I do. My trades are often very different. I don't carry a bias or anything into the market. So like a lot of people, when they wake up in the morning, they're like, oh, it's a bear market, I'm gonna trade it when we go down and stuff like that. I don't carry any bias into the market with me. I let the market teach me what it would like to teach me for the day, and I react based on that information with my trade. So here we are at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, shooting up towards a higher high from this time right here, from early in the afternoon. And I say to myself, okay, we're gonna retrace. When we retrace, where are we going? I go down to the 200 EMA, and I'm like, we have all of this space here, the fair value gap and everything. Let's see if we head down there and retest that 200 EMA for the 1 hour time frame, which initially was down here, which is where my trade is. You see that we get in and we get a beautiful push off of that and make $300 very casually. I do expect that had I not woke up, probably would have made the full 1,000 or whatever. I just don't have the patience when I'm trailing the move to sit through it. But had I not woke up, I probably would have woke up to the full $1,000 gain. But that's okay. Like, you can always find another trade. You can always have a better day. I'm really just trying to get to Wednesday with as much money as possible, because Wednesday is FOMC day. And then if you can risk a little bit more on Wednesday, then you can make a significant impact on your account on like an FOMC day. Not from the initial news trading or whatever, but from the market rebounding. So we have FOMC at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Central. So, late in the day for us. And that's going to have a massive impact on the end of day. And then I think we have earnings. No, we have earnings for NVIDIA on the 27th next week, which is Wednesday, I think. And it's going to be post-market. Let's make sure. I don't want to tell you guys wrong. NVIDIA's on the 27th. And it is it post-market? I believe it's post-market. Why is it not telling me? Oh, it is telling me. It's right there, post. The little word right here says post-market. So yeah, NVIDIA has earnings on next Wednesday, post-market. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be great. You got some smaller companies, TJ Maxx and Lowe's and Walmart with earnings this week. That's going to have a small effect on the S&P 500, but those are great stocks to trade themselves when you're talking about getting a little earnings play for Walmart. Walmart tends to do well. TJ Maxx and Target tend to do well. I remember when Target was like way down, I had bought into it, but I didn't understand trading back then, and I sold those contracts like really early. But now I know to invest and buy low and let it ride on up. I could have had a lot of money in Target. I'm talking about a lot of money, man. I had a pretty little penny invested in Target back then. And they were at like $70. They had some drama go on. Let's see what Target's at now. Let's see what they're worth now. Target's worth 104. That would have been a nice little 6 month to a year return. I think the highest they'd hit at one time during this cycle was 130. Quarter four, yeah, they were about 130. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. And, I hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you in the next one. This has been another Full Transparency Trading Session where I'm your host, Sebastian, and I'm out. So just going back, it's 3 o'clock in the morning now, 20 minutes later, and as you can see, we're at about the $650 mark for that trade. So had I not woke up, I probably would have woke up in the morning to $1,000 or whatever the case is, but 317 is a good start to our day, and we can grow the account from there to 500 and beyond. Once we get to $500, then I'll go ahead and take another mini trade, but it's micros until we reach 500.